Physical Sciences. My name is Katie Price, and I'm chairing this first session. We have 5 speakers today. Sadly, our second speaker, Mika Okamoto, is not able to join us, but her colleague, Eri Yagi, is kindly going to deliver her paper on her behalf. So we will have 16 minutes for each speaker and a short question for each one, but I'm sure people will have other things that they want to discuss, and so it's possible that if you would like to stay on for a little bit before the other people come in to set up for the next session, then I invite anyone who'd like to stay on and carry on the discussions. It's my great pleasure to introduce Eri Yagi from the Institute for the History of Science, UKM, in Japan, and she's going to be speaking on Clausius, on Nagaoka's development of his atomic models. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before I start, I want to show chronological knowledge for you. I have some kind of T-shirts here. This is the second thermodynamics by Clausius. So, anyway, I have Nanoka before, but these days I've been studying mostly Clausius' mechanical theory. Our Nanoka's atom model was still my interest. So this time combined the two together. That's my goal. So time so limited, so I should firstly tell you what Clausius' linear theory along the bottom of that first chronological table. I put that one, but just so nearly. He proposed 1865, first and second law of thermodynamics. In English, the energy of the universe is constant. Second, the entropy of the universe tends to a maximum. And then he proposed 1870 linear theory. Linear, I don't know nothing, but it said, Clausius said, linear force. So this is linear theory, and right hand side, this holds linear. That means this is in force. Then I'm going to abstract say. So I will conclude already before I was 10 minutes. Anyway, so I can be anytime. So, and I have this one here. This is the kind of thermodynamics by Clausius. Okay. Clausius proposed the linear theory in 1870 for the material things whose movements were stationary along the line of mechanical theory of heat. He said mechanical theory of heat, not thermodynamics. Mechanical theory, not thermodynamics. Thermodynamics sounds like a new technical term. Anyway, Thomson said that dynamical theory of heat. So expressions are different, but at that time, it was different. So this time is the last one is Clausius' linear theory. That was Clausius did not at that time consider the inside of material particles, just a material mass point, and also lately Boltzmann also did not consider inside of the particle. And Nanoka, 1905, used Boltzmann's method of floating to there was a creation by the use of this Clausius theory. Harold Boltzmann, Nanoka, finally succeeded to present when there was a creation by the use of the atomic model in case she considered the inside of particles. That is, I will explain next. Oh, sorry, I already said something about the timing, sorry, going to the brilliant theory is already shown in the equation. Yeah, explain what brilliant theory in English expression. Now, but you could see this one. We don't need to read English anyway. Then, what is Nanoka's atomic? That was the time, at that time, electron was discovered through the Zeeman effect, 1896. So several atomic models were proposed in the early 20s. And of course, these atomic models had electrons inside or connected to the atomic model. Nanoka's model was one of these. And then I just said that kind of, I just read Nanoka's model. The atomic model went into Rutherford nuclear model here at Manchester, 1911, and were developed into Boas model, 1913, which this year is 100 years anniversary. We had some kind of symposium here too. That was proposed the stable orbit of the electron. So, then I'm talking about some kind of details of Nanoka's atomic model. Nanoka, 1903, proposed his own atomic model that he used mechanical stability, Boltzmann's Saturnian model that Saturnian model of made of all mass, but trouble is electron is minus and nucleus called nucleus plus electricity. So there's some kind of mechanical stability is rotating electrons down the center of nuclear, not quite big nuclear, one looks like a ball, and by the use of Nanoka model, Nanoka qualitatively, not quantitatively, explain such physical phenomena as spectrum and radioactivity. If the material, for example, gas, consisted of his atomic model, I just put some kind of Nanoka spectrum down here. Today I have some original one in philosophical magazine, if you are interested, let me know. Then I'm just so this Nanoka started to apply his atomic model. If the material, such as gas, is made of Nanoka's atomic model. And finally, van der Waals equation was established, even the gas consisted of nano-gas atom model. That's what kind of. I have some biography of nano-gas quite many years ago that Charles Peace. What is nano-gas originality? Actually, nano-gas will approaching to this model, this van der Waals equation is quite similar to Boltzmann, but nano-gas itself did not refer Boltzmann. I realized that because why Boltzmann nano-gas studied during his stay in Germany for 3 years. Boltzmann was there. First, nano-gas took nano-gas went there at a sort of postdoctoral level and took Boltzmann's seminar, something, and Berlin, and Boltzmann moved to Munich, then Vienna. We followed Boltzmann's text and Boltzmann's concept. So nano-gas was very familiar with Boltzmann's way of thinking and approach of all kinds of problems. So anyway, but Boltzmann did not consider inside of the particle. So originality is only nano-gas inside structure his own atom. And yeah, how to approach to fundamental equation that I told you that Clausius linear theory, right-hand side is indicating force. So force is internal and external. External is already known very well. Before about studies of gas, so that is not so difficult to find out. So everybody do that at that time. And internal one is having to one is just not thinking about the particle inside structure, but you have some force due to impact of spherical particles of diameter sigma. That is the Boltzmann's style. Then, in addition to that, nano-gas plus this neat style of internal force between two nano-gas atom models. That is the originality. That Boltzmann only wrote that the function of between two particles. But nano-gas, before this paper, he already calculated that ring center, ring center, something like that. But anyway, and I have written a paper on that, but hadn't thought maybe that with reciprocal to 4 times of distance. Then finally, nano-gas calculating according to Clausius' theory. And this is a good point of sort of neglecting unnecessary high order, then great distance. decided because only hydrogen one electron rounding orbit. So this cannot be in the sense of classical mechanics, no stability. So that's what is the meaning of all quantum theory. But anyway, so he not consistent in model, but he's already interested in inner structure of atom. Then he went to experiment, and high quality of his experiment made possible propose spin by two groups. I'm not talking about this priority, Pauli or whatever was. And so that's all. Maybe
Yeah. Okay.
We said that this experimental instruments are made not in Japan that time. Made instrument maker in London.
In London.
But the combination is good and good made high level of experiment and data. That was possible. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. We have time for one question. If you'd like to. Oh, you'll drink the water. There we are. Yeah, we have time for one question. So we have a question. I have a question about the research culture. So you said that he spent 3 years in Berlin. And then did he return to Japan?
At that time, she was a kind of teaching staff of University of Tokyo.
Right.
And the Japanese government paying money to send people, to abroad.
Yes.
Yes.
And so when he was continuing to work and he was making these fascinating adaptations, was he still in touch with the research culture in Berlin? Or did he develop his own research culture in Japan?
At that time, different anyway. We have spent so many times to discuss it.
Okay.
But anyway, basically, Nanoka ran, in addition to Boltzmann, other famous physicists got some kind of ideas from Nanoka got some ideas, and he did his own experiment there too. So, and also, Clausius belongs to Berlin's Gustavus group, academic group. That is great sample, and all people. Clausius, of course.
So instruments from London and atoms from Berlin and theories from Japan.
Europe is a kind of melting spot of very creativity.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So we send our best wishes to Rika Okamoto's son, who has a broken leg, and unfortunately this is a priority for her at this time, so she's not able to join us. So are you ready now for your next performance? So this is the work of Rika Okamoto, who's at the Graduate University for Advanced Studies in Japan. And the title of her paper is a study of statistical approaches to Rudolf Clausius' theory of electricity. So shall I?
How to read this?
There we are.
Yes. We probably need this one anyway. Yeah. Because of her some accident, suddenly broken right leg, so she couldn't come. She said sorry to today's audience, she couldn't come. So, because she's one of my group papers, and we are translating Claudius Abhandlungen, 7 Abhandlungen into Japanese. So she is one of our members too. So she translated Claudius' Elmo's paper, which is theory of electricity. So she's originally majoring in computer science at college. Now is going to some kind of high level of graduate school for PhD, doing some information science, some kind of computing things, I don't know. But my blog and my homepage is made by Giga Okamoto. Hadokoro is common name, and I have one or two papers, joint papers we have taught. Yeah, this maybe we discussed this part of PowerPoint over email, so I know what in time, but anyway, we are both in Dropbox, we can sit together. So we can mainly dealing with Claudius' 11th paper that was published 1853, we will discuss. So just this paper is from Claudius' collected paper. Claudius' collected paper posted. It consisted from two volumes written together, and these days. The first volume is mainly thermodynamics and engines, and what doing to her in the Elmo's paper, theory of electricity belongs to the second volume of Claudius' first collected paper. Upper hand when their mechanical theory is, I think, the name of the paper. It can also spell good or well, but I have to read the reason I learned it myself. So Claudius' theory of electricity, everything from that one. This is the first Claudius thermodynamics paper, 1850. Then what we are going to analyze statistically is 1853, that we change here. So he's not presenting, he already realized first row, but second row is not completed yet. That can do say. Okay. There are in this second volume, there are 4 papers on electricity, and one is some kind of maybe we don't have time to say too much, but this 11th paper, one looks important. Yes. But it, yeah, we have start on to so. Yeah. This paper is the first presented at Berlin and opened up and published, then corrected in his first corrected papers volume 2, page so and so. And we have translated in the 7 papers from this corrected paper, and we published soon, hopefully soon, in August. how we do is counting names of people, such as we have published this already. Names. We have some kind of collected papers here, so ours just look around. And finally, I wish I looked at Vika and Eri's paper included. So counting names of people and counting technical terms. But this time, newly, she treated Google Ngraph. That is the original point to this presentation. So we have tools, tools of Microsoft Excel, and we are using Google Ngram. This Google Ngram, you could cite if we are interested. Google has already raw data. For example, last time I did cite this Ngram, 3 persons graphed word, Einstein, telephone, and other. So it's a kind of interesting Google-related books. There are already data possible for your citation. So technical term analysis, we will frequently appear technical terms, very many different. This is the electric difference, potential difference is not other one in its body. So difference is in that sense. Otherwise it work. Flow. This kind of things, this one. So, these notes, physics classifying these frequently appear terms like physics, electromagnetism, thermodynamics, and the other things like that. And miscellaneous, not this classification, not too good. But I shouldn't say that. Because of I said that difference should be frequently one word, electric potential difference. But at that time, that's no way to combine adjective to this different. So these methods are always a sort of first order approximation. Then I go to Google. Google and Brown. This one is, we are sorry, not to write. This is Clausius and Samopete is early electric battery. This graph, Clausius and Samopete. And we for comparison, we have other one. This is this one. Anyway, this kind of things we could use already Google has data. This one is Tibet is still currently Tibet effect is defined today, but Clausius did some kind of pioneer field, but no classic, no name under Clausius. But Pentropy is under Clausius, doesn't matter. So, but anyway, Tibet and we compare two pairs. Samukete, Brown, Samukete, Tibet. So, using Google and Brown. So, we have observed that these Clausius published in this 3, I told you that. So, analysis through this, we realized that yeah, so conclusion is some kind of Clausius, yeah, so published his paper. And around that time, comparing the two pairs, not to brightly seen, but two pairs, Clausius and Clausius with Samukete, other pair. Clausius pair is rather getting popular, we should realize through this statistical approach. So, some kind of 1853, after that, is a kind of Clausius influence getting stronger. Through statistical analysis, but actually, his name is not left yet. Maybe in that field, maybe he really did interesting work in some electric field. So two different material and putting together, better to each other, and this national antibodies like that. Give them temperature difference, then you could get electricity. That's early style of electric battery. So it's Clausius was also pioneer in that field, but not well known in that field. So maybe that's all.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Thank you ever so much for delivering not only your own paper, but also Rika's paper, and that's really a fascinating insight. The statistical analysis of language has already proven itself very useful in literary studies, and so it's just fascinating to see it applied to the communication of scientific ideas and also to their development. Does anyone have any questions? It's perhaps not fair of us to ask questions for Rika through you, but does anyone have a question or a comment about this?
I will transfer Rika through writing email, but not come back to the answer today, but
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I actually comment on the brief question. Thank you very much for the both presentation. And my comment is related with respect to the quantum physics. I wrote down Nagaoka. He developed his model in 1903 and he published in Japan 1905. That is 10 years before the other four business and math and then Niels Bohr atom. What is the relationship of Nagaoka with respect to Max Planck? You know, Nagaoka was strongly influenced by the German physicists and philosophers. What about Planck, quantum action, and so on? Nagaoka model and issue of the quantization of the orbits in the model. Nagaoka at one side, Max Planck and quantum physics on the other side. It should be very interesting as the issue.
Thank you so much. Your comment, I think. Nagaoka said, after the very famous physicists in Japan and pioneers of everything started magnet restriction first under the guidance of Scottish physicists visiting in Japan that people are in all variety of people are invited in Japan to teach at the University of Tokyo. Nagaoka was a student of this, and atomic model was sort of famous because you said that it's an original model of Rutherford or not. That's the sort of question. I'm not involved in any kind of priority decided, so I don't say anything. But there was some kind of philosophy involved. Electricity, Nagaoka center and outside circle. That means electricity plus and minus cannot stay within the same place. But the other data coming to daily Thomson.
Every time Rutherford was in
that pudding model is that what the inside of pudding there are kind of electron. So that means that this fluid possible to put electricity overlapped. So I think both are possible to consider space and matter. So I was very much interested in something that both we were discussing already 18th century. So that was translated by Roger. So I'm going to maybe circle this answer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Circulate. Circulate. Yeah. Circulate. Done. Just show that as well.
okay. And also, I would like to know where I can get one of these t-shirts. Okay, so our next speaker is Kenichi Natsume from the Kanazawa Institute of Technology in Japan. And he's going to be speaking on an atomistic interpretation of the concept of mass given by Faraday. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your introduction. It is a great pleasure to speak to you today. And my name is Kenichi Natsume. Today, I talk about this topic. First of all, to discuss various concepts of mass, we need to examine the original concept, electrostatic state. Faraday published this concept in 1831. Faraday regarded the state as a cause of both electromagnetic induction and electrochemical decomposition. These phenomena are very brand new phenomena in early 19th century. and he defined it as follows in 1831. All the results favor the notion that the electrotonic state relates to the particles and not to the mass. This description clearly shows us that he connected the special states not with mass but with particle. The electrotonic state was an action on the particle. This act on particle not on mass means I will discuss in this presentation, and this new concept opened the theory of particle for electromagnetic dynamical action. And he opened up his researches in electromagnetic induction from this early 1830s to end of 1830s. And this is my introduction. Then this is my purpose, and I will analyze various criteria which categorize the electrical and chemical powers. The targets of these two powers were either mass or particle. My discussion will be on the examination of the historical origin of these concepts. I believe that this criterion was very important for understanding the originality of our theory, especially that of electromagnetic induction. The keyword will be JP and Swedish Berzelius and Daltonia or Auschwitz atomism. So you may think it's very natural to the concept mass, that he viewed concept of mass as such, but when you know the such a distinction, such a distinction is applied same for gravity in the context of Faraday. You may think the particle also has mass in the perspective of Newtonian mechanics. So it becomes a little bit curious idea from the nowadays point of view. And Faraday published his law of electricity in 1833. This law was divided into two parts, each of which was precisely defined in 1834. In the first part, he stated that the chemical power of current of electricity is in direct proportion to the absolute quantity of electricity which passes. It is very quantitative statement, so it has no problem. But in the second part, the electrochemical equivalents coincide and are the same with ordinary chemical equivalents. This second part integrated electrical power into chemical power. It's a little bit special statement in his time. So the concept of the law opened the way for a new unified theory of force, which acted equally on both mass, so that electricity and particle, so the chemistry, of course in the Faraday's context. However, his radical view met with opposition, especially from Swedish chemist Jakob Berzelius. Advocating Dalton's atomic theory, Berzelius considered Faraday's law to be insufficient and inadequate because Faraday had ignored the influence of chemical combustion. Only the weight was correlated with quantity of electricity, and both weight and chemical action were reduced to only one electrical power. Also, electrochemical decomposition needed a certain level of intensity at the beginning of this decomposition. So Faraday's law was related only to electrical quantity, not to intensity. Generally speaking, chemical affinity was related to electrical intensity. From this perspective, Berzelius concluded that it was irrational to distinguish mass and particle. And it is a Berzelius perspective of atoms. But I couldn't find his detailed discussion of structure of atoms. I cited materials concerning about atoms of Berzelius in Sweden, but I couldn't find such a detailed discussion. But for example, he imagined a spherical atom like this figure. This might be derived from Daltonian atomic theory. He was explicitly influenced by Claude Louis Berthollet, French chemist, who attributed intensity of chemical reaction not only to chemical affinity but also to its quantity, mass. This idea contrasts to low definite proportion like Lavoisier, but his atomic theory was ambiguous. In Berzelius, his lecture book of chemistry, published in German, Sweden, concept of atom and molecule was treated the same as a chemical equivalent. So, Faraday talked about chemical equivalence in the second part, but in the Berzelius context, it's very he feels very curious because his concept of mass and particle were treated the same as a chemical equivalence. He was like operationalist. His method for examining by measuring the atomic weights. It was a Swedish tradition of mineralogy. Chemical research, his chemical research based on the tradition. For brief summary, Faraday's concept of electrotonic state was introduced to explain the action caused by electrical current, so that particles matter. Static induction maintained its effect for a long time. In contrast, the new effects of electromagnetic and electrochemical induction could not maintain its effect continuously. The effect was very temporal. Faraday then distinguished this new current-related dynamical tension from general static tension, and also correlated it with electrochemical power and with particles. I think that his Faraday's idea was based on and modified from Humphrey Davy's idea of mass and particle. And for example, this is the example of Faraday's description about force and particle and mass. He told that I do not suppose that the particle and matter are really and actually in contact, but matter attracts itself in proportion to the number of atoms. It's a very dynamical atomic model. I will refer after. And his discussion about mass and particle concerning about gravitation. Gravitation is this power acting at sensible distances and on masses of matter. And aggregation or cohesion is the same power exerting its influence at insensible distances and on particles of matter. And the inertia this part, the inertia is the property of matter which causes it to remain in the state. And in Newtonian mechanical system, inertia and gravity also related to the mass of the body, but he separated the idea of the mechanical mass and the mass as a source of the power. I believe that this Faraday's idea was derived from his mentor David's idea. David said that chemical and electrical attraction were produced by the same force acting in one case on particles, in the other on masses. Furthermore, he stated that electrochemical voltaic action was a combination of chemical and electrical actions. For David, mass was in domain of electrical power and particle was in domain of chemical power. But as same as Faraday, David met with the position of discrepancy. There's a question to the distinction. What difference is there between the action on particle and the action on mass? When a force acts on each particle of a body, it does not never act on mass, so that on the whole body. Physicists can hardly conceive David's distinction. Their perspectives on matter were fundamentally different. So we can summarize David's idea as follows. Firstly, about electrical tension. So that general static electricity, this power acts on the mass as a bulk or whole of matter. Secondly, about chemical attraction, so that chemical affinity, this power selectively active on the particles, such as the accelerating process of elements. And thirdly, about electrochemical combination, the electrical power and chemical affinity active in combination. Faraday probably applied these David's ideas in order to develop his research on the electrostatic of mass into the new electromagnetic dynamical phenomena of the particle. The electronic state was accompanied by chemical action. Therefore, he came to regard the electrical power as a source of the action on particles as well as the chemical power. And the idea were derived from Croatian philosopher Roger Moscovich, based around the appearance and sensible quantity of mass of tangible matter. His Moscovich's optimism was a theory to explain the mechanism of action in this insensible domain, the chemical domain. The two definitions of mass are quite contrasting. Moscovich's perspective was very different from Newtonian particle theory. And from perspective of mechanics and Dalton's atomic theory, mass is the weight of matter, like Lavoisier's mass conservation law in chemical action. On the other hand, by understanding matter as a force, as in Moscovich's atomism, mass becomes the aggregate of the total action of the atomic powers. From the latter perspective, David and Faraday regarded mass as bulk or aggregate. This is a criterion of whether the power acts on part of the matter or the whole of the matter. And Bessels' oppositions were based on the different perspectives of mass. And my concluding remarks. Faraday related the new electrical state with particle. It is a phenomenon of electromagnetism and electrochemistry. It was based on David's idea of mass and particle. Understanding matter as a force, as the Moscovichian dynamical atomism, mass becomes the aggregate of the total action of the atomic powers. From this point of view, distinction between mass and particles was rational, but from perspective of Dalton's theory, mass was basically equivalent to the weight of matter, so that the distinction was irrational. Simply stated, Faraday carried on his research in electromagnetism from the chemical perspective of the particle, from this. So, thank you very much.
Does anyone have a question for Kenichi? Anyone at all? I have a question. It's intriguing about Berzelius, and you said that you didn't know whether he had described his model of the atom, possibly he didn't describe it, because you said he had an operational approach. So do you think, I mean, it's possible in physics, in some situations, to not have a detailed model. So do you think that the model is as yet, he did have one, or do you think that maybe he didn't even have a model of the atom? Do you have any ideas?
Thank you.
Do you think it's waiting there to be found?
He did not enter the detailed discussion of the films, and maybe the image was changing time by time. So now I want to figure out the details my task next.
Yes. Because I know that Eddington, for example, he didn't have a model of stellar energy at a certain point, but he was still able to make calculations. Okay, well, thank you.
May I ask a little question?
Okay, we might have to move on, I'm afraid, but we still have 2 more papers to hear. So, thank you very much.